everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and today I want to talk about some Aldi makeup. Now here in the US, Aldi doesn't really sell makeup, but I know over in UK they've been selling makeup for a while, and I believe I picked up this stuff last week. It's a limited edition US Aldi thing. I don't know if they're just testing to see how it will do in the US. I mean, I think it would be smart of them to start putting more makeup in the US, since I feel like the makeup industry is so big here, or everywhere. But yeah, so I picked up a couple items and I want to show you guys and put on the products. So I did not pick up the mascara though, but we'll try the other two products. So they did have primer, and they had a few different varieties of primer. And I want to say I paid under $5 for the primer. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I'll put the price on the screen if I could find it. But I picked up the Snapshot Ready Pore Minimizing Primer, and it's from the Lacura brand. And it clearly looks like a Smashbox dupe, and it's just in a plastic squeeze tube container. And here's the consistency. It does remind me of the Benefit Professional, but it kind of reminds me of the hydrating version. Like, it's more creamy and yeah, it's definitely very similar to the hydrating one. Because I have tried the original Professional, but yeah, it's definitely smoothing. I have used this a few times and I did really enjoy it. So I'm just gonna put this on and focus on where my pores are. But yeah, if you go on YouTube, you'll see like their other products that they carry in the UK, and it seems like they like to dupe a lot of, I kind of put a lot on, but they like to dupe a lot of like big name brands. I remember hearing that there was like a lawsuit because they had like a highlight and bronzer, and I guess it looked just like Charlotte Tilbury's, and I guess there was like a lawsuit and they had to change their packaging, I'm pretty sure. But it definitely feels like it's a silicone primer. Feels very smoothing, like kind of silky. And I'll put some on my forehead, maybe. I'm always hopeful that it'll smooth out my wrinkles. But I do believe they had a high illuminating version. They had a couple different varieties. So I thought this was nice. I don't think it's a pretty nice product, actually. I'm gonna put the rest of my makeup on, and then we're gonna talk about the eyeshadow palette. I'm back with the rest of my makeup, and I want to say it definitely helped smooth out my pores. It didn't make them disappear, but it definitely helped fill them in a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the eyeshadow palette. I picked this up for $5.99. They had a couple different varieties. There was a smoky version, and I want to say there was a naturals version, and some people have been talking about the one version, I think it's called like Moonchild or something, and that one's Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina dupe. But this one is a Urban Decay Naked Honey dupe. So it comes in a tin packaging, kind of feels a little cheapy, and you do have a mirror. My cat is all over me, and here it is. It looks just like the Naked Honey, and I didn't pick up that palette. That palette's like $54, so this is extremely more affordable, and it also comes with a brush as well. And I've used this a couple times, and I thought it was fine. So we're going to do a look with it. And I did see that Emily Noel just recently did an Aldi makeup video, and she really enjoyed the products as well. So first I'm going to go into this shade right here. I don't see any shade. Oh yeah, there are shade names. It's very hard to see, but they do have them, and it's called Harvest. Just the matte cream shade. And I'm going to use the brush that comes with it. Hopefully none of the other product on here transfers off. I did not clean this brush. The brush is a pretty basic brush, but it's not bad. It's definitely usable for somebody who, you know, doesn't have a lot of makeup brushes and doesn't want to buy a bunch, and you know, it's nice having the convenience of a brush in the palette. And now I'm going to go into the shade Bloom right next to it. It's the matte brown shade. I do feel like this palette has a lot of variation. You do have some light and mid-tones. You don't have a lot of depth. This is like the deepest shade. I'm going to try to use this brush for most of the look. I mean, that shade didn't really show up that much. It is a light shade, but I don't really see it doing anything. We're going to try to go into Bite right next to it. This is more of a yellow brown. Yeah, that one has more pigment. Definitely showing up better. Like, I feel like this isn't the most pigmented, amazing palette, but it's $6 pretty. And I feel like for somebody who just wants something affordable, somebody who just wants something easy every day, it's not a bad palette. And sometimes if palettes are too pigmented, they, you know, you can make a lot of mistakes and they're hard to work with. Like this one, you could just slap it on and call it a day. I'm gonna flip over to the other side. This is like a smaller. I feel like it would be good for packing on color. And I'm gonna go into the deepest shade, which is Nest. And I'm gonna pack this on the outer part of my eye. But this is kind of a bummer that this is the deepest shade. But, I mean, it is a dupe to the Urban Decay. I'm gonna have to put a picture of the Urban Decay Honey up on the screen. I'm not sure if this is an exact dupe, but it does seem to build up. I'm gonna take that brown and just put it in my lower lash line. I'm gonna go into the shade Guardian and help blend it out. I am getting a little bit of, you know, kick up in the palette, but it isn't anything terrible. I'm not getting any fallout on my face that I notice. I do notice some of it's like blending away here. And now I want to play in some shimmers. I'm going to go into this shade called Nectar right here. It looks like an old, like, brassy gold. And I'm going to put it, I'm just going to layer on top of this. It does without, now I'm getting fallout, definitely getting fallout. I'm sure the shade would work better with a finger. It's kind of like crumbly when I pick it up. It is a pretty color. It swatched good with the finger. It's working much better with a finger, with, you know, most shimmers do. For the center, I want to go in with Pollen. Here's a brush swatch. It's actually really pretty, really has a lot of shine to it. And I'm gonna set this in the center. That shade worked really well with the brush. It almost feels wet, like foiled. This shade's really pretty. And then for the center of my eye, or the inner part of my eye, I'm going to go into the shade Sunflower. Looks like a yellow gold, very bright. I have to say these shimmers are pretty amazing. I am getting fallout, but they're intense. Lots of glitter fallout. I almost feel like I felt some fall in my eye. With this palette, I would say probably do your, you know, eyeshadow first and then do your base makeup, because it looks like I have highlight all under the eye. This shade Nectar I used didn't stick very well, unless I didn't put it on this side. I had to rewatch it. Definitely, if I use these shimmers again, I'll probably wet them just so they adhere better to the eyes, because they're very, very, very flaky. And now, real quick, I'm going to put on some liner and mascara and finish off with my final thoughts. Okay, guys, I'm back with my final thoughts. The primer. The Snapshot Ready Pore Minimizing Primer. I think it's great. I think it is a nice pore smoothing, hydrating primer. I don't think it's going to give you miracles, but it definitely is nice, and foundation went over really nice and smooth. I used the Kat Von D Good Apple foundation and it just glided right on my skin. Very happy with this. So the eyeshadow palette. Considering it's a $5.99 palette, yes, you can work with it, but Wet n Wild has really good eyeshadow palettes that are less expensive, and you could find affordable palettes. So I don't think this is that great. It's workable. You can make it work. You could get a pretty look. The shimmers did go on amazing, but I'm noticing as I was doing my liner and stuff, it's not like sitting, it looks like it's like picking up, like it's gonna flake off my eyes. If I were to use this again, I would definitely use like a glitter glue or, you know, a setting spray and a good eyeshadow primer. But I can't like say this is awesome and totally worth it. I can't recommend that. But if it's something you do choose to pick up, keep that in mind, that it's not the best. But you could totally make it work and you could come up with a pretty look, you know? So I hope that made sense. I hope this video is helpful for anybody who noticed these at their Aldi's and is considering picking them up. I did hear the mascara is really good. I wish I would have picked one up, but I just didn't need a mascara. But according to Emily Noel, the mascara, the lash, the volumizing one is really good, and I know she's picky with her mascaras. But yes, that is it, guys. If you guys picked up this makeup, put down below what you thought of it and what was your experience, because it is very helpful for other people, you know, because we all have different preferences. But this is my personal opinion. I would say if you don't need an eyeshadow palette, don't get it. It's not a must-have for this. Like if you already have a large collection, I would skip. But if you're in need of a nice primer, I think it's pretty good. Okay, that is it for now. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. And see you guys later. Say hello, little one. She doesn't want to. But okay, guys. Bye.